So, when did you go into the army?
Đi lính khi nào? Năm nào?
1966.
1996. 66.
1966.
No,
And did you volunteer or were you drafted?
anh tự nguyện hay là phải bắt buộc?
Hồi đó là mình tình nguyện volunteer á.
It's volunteer.
Volunteer.
Yeah.
Why did you volunteer?
Sao mà tình nguyện?
Lý do là hồi đó là ở trên quê mình đó là bị chiến tranh á.
Yeah.
Chiến tranh rồi coi như.
Okay. So when he studied at the children Vietnam the education system, tú tài 1, that means the 12 years study high school, but the 11th year, the years he graduated from the years 11, and his family war affection, and he, they have to move place to place, everybody break down, and he said, okay, it's not safe to be with the family anymore.
Yeah.
And then he just volunteered to join the army to study as the officer.
To study as an
officer. And volunteer. And I asked him, if you graduate of the year 11, what can you do? What could you do? Right? He said maximum teachers, but teach at the primary.
At the primary level.
Only. Primary only.
Yeah.
But also because the family feel not safe to be in town, so he said it's better to be in the army.
In the army.
Safe.
And what town was he in?
He was living here, right?
Here in the
west,
Trang.
Nha Trang in Thành Giang Khánh, which is about 13 kilometers. From here now, they're about 7 kilometers.
Going into the army was more of a. It was just better for a career, better for a job.
Rồi cái là nói tức là đi. He said he's the oldest son of the family of 9 children. And if he could study, it cost more money of the family, and nobody really help economic.
Yeah.
So if he joined the army, at least it cut the cost of the family.
Yeah.
And also he got some money to help out the family also. At 1966 at that time. Lúc đó là how come he volunteered to join the army? Is it compulsory to that track?
For him, it was compulsory.
Both of them.
For both it was compulsory. Yeah.
Everybody had compulsories.
Everybody has
to serve the army.
Yeah.
But he said if he got the education, at least high school in those days, education is very low. If he got higher education, and he volunteered, so he got a benefit to guy like officer, whatever.
Yeah.
But if they didn't join volunteer, they took him to make him in, and then he never get higher.
Yeah.
No benefit, can be an officer.
Yeah.
He had to be served in the battles.
Yeah.
Although or even the helper, just very lowest guy all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why they chose to volunteer with
rather than be drafted.
To serve with
they have more choice. Yeah. So what was each of the jobs that they had? Like what did this gentleman do in the army and what did this gentleman do in the army?
Như anh hồi đó làm gì? Công việc chính ở trong công is writing the plan of the troop to the battles. So he's mainly based in the indoor in office, write all the plans and send the troop to where?
To different
area.
Like where the Viet Cong were.
And he said, okay, right, and all the plans. And he working with some other white American in his office to make the plan. So he typewriting, make the plan and send the troop how many people to where. To where. That his job after graduate from university.
Okay.
Officer university.
So,
in Saigon.
In Saigon. So he worked in Saigon.
Yeah.
This gentleman. And what did this gentleman do?
Rồi còn tới phiên chú.
Bây giờ chú nói.
He's not a real person fight, but he's work as the advertisement communication to track the people who followed the north. Now they had to switch the signs from the north into the south. You know, somebody in the south, they serve for the north. He tried to convince them
Oh,
to move, switch the signs,
to switch sides.
switch signs from the north into the south right
So,
now.
like for example, if they captured a soldier from the north,
Uh-huh.
they would try to convince him to work for the south.
For the south,
something
yeah,
like
something like that. To, you know, just okay, now you have to work for the south better, blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah like that, like
yeah.
that. Instead of, you know, send them field because you got an education more
that. So it was more of an intelligence job.
intelligent jobs.
Yeah.
To track the people from, to cap the people from the north to the south. That's his job.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
one he writing the plan of,
Mm.
of finding.
Yeah. What do they remember? If for the Americans, a very big event was the Tet Offensive, 1968. The Tet of 1968. You know, when there were
Nhớ-
attacks all over. What do they remember about Tet?
Nhớ năm bạn thân không?
Rồi,
So he said that in the year at the year of fighting at the Tet, big fighting, so they made everybody in the battles. No more officer, no more an office work
So everybody goes to the fight.
to the fight.
Yeah.
And he served at the fight for 2 years. He worked in the fight area for 2 years in Đồng Tháp for 2 years. And as a local fighter, army fighter in Đồng Tháp, cảm ơn anh. Đồng Tháp area, he have to help all the tank troops, helicopter troops to fight. So he gonna be joined in one of the tank to fight the targets
Mm.
in those days for 2 years.
For 2 years.
For 2 years.
So 2 years of combat.
Now, as a comeback,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
As a soldier. And what does this gentleman remember about the Tet Offensive?
Còn anh tìm Tết làm sao anh tìm?
của Mỹ á, tấn công vô mục tiêu đó thì bị bắn.
Yeah, he joined the group in Pleiku, same thing in Pleiku, and he got shot.
He got shot in the head, and he has a scar on his head right there.
Vô hay là xẹt qua thôi?
Xẹt qua.
Xẹt a stretch, lucky.
Wow.
And with American troops at that time, tanks also in Pleiku.
Wow.
Bao nhiêu năm anh? Cũng 2 năm hả?
Không, lúc đó là năm 67.
67 anh đi rồi.
67, không 6 rồi 67 bị á. Nó bị rồi về nghỉ một tháng.
68, the
Yeah.
big fighting.
Yeah.
He wasn't in there because he got hurt.
Yeah.
So over a year, he just stayed at home in the hospital.
So he was in the hospital.
He was in the hospital in the 68. Ủa bệnh
Wow.
viện đâu? Bệnh viện Pleiku thôi nha, Khánh Hòa.
Bệnh viện Pleiku, ở Pleiku.
In hospital in Pleiku.
Did the bullet go into his head?
I was scratched by.
It scratched by.
If into, he
Yeah,
cannot sit here and talk.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Crossed by.
Wow.
Em có thể nói là mình có kinh nghiệm như này. Sau khi bị thương rồi anh mới cảm nhận ra là coi như cái người chết vì súng đạn á,
Yeah.
không bao giờ biết đâu. Tại khi anh bị thương này ha, máu nó trào ra.
I experienced on the hurt of the shot. And they
Yeah.
said in the battles, people got killed without any painful. It's by himself, you know, when the battle fighting,
Yeah.
and everybody looking for the bleeding persons. And he didn't feel any pain.
He didn't
At
feel
all.
any pain.
He didn't feel any pain at all. He didn't know that he got hurt too.
Wow.
Even blood all his face, but he didn't think of that. He didn't know.
Oh. Wow.
No painful, nothing. And until one of the translation say, "You got hurt." Now he recognized he got hurt. You know, bleeding on his face too.
Wow.
Before that, he didn't know. He said, if people got shot, killed in the on the field, they have no idea that they got killed or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Because he was so. What's the right word? So stressed from the battle, he didn't feel the pain.
the stress of press, and he didn't. His mind nothing about his pain.
Yeah.
Just that. And if somebody got killed on the battle, he said very light.
Yeah.
like very easy, not stressful death,
Yeah.
not painful death.
So just a question for each of them. What was the most difficult part of the war for both?
Tức là nó có câu hỏi đặc biệt hơn là memory is his work college dying, and they had to carry the bodies when they trooping to some. The body is not perfect.
Yeah.
Some just the flesh.
Yeah.
In the plastic bags.
Oh yeah.
Some just the skin come out. Some is not
Yeah.
right shape, and that's the most difficult thing.
Carrying the bodies of colleagues who have been killed.
Being killed, but not just perfect shape killed. Like all bomb whatever fight, and losing part, arm, legs, fat. Sometimes the stomach is out.
Right.
But you had to carry them with you.
Right.
You cannot leave right there.
Yeah. And they would put them in bags, in body bags.
Chỗ đó là có mấy cái túi rừng xác là mang đi hay là chỉ
tức là coi những người còn sống là mang về lại coi như là rồi ra.
He said by himself he not so much bad experience, but because of the biggest war fight he was in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
But he said the most difficult is his college, American college. The guy who worked with work with.
Yeah.
They cannot find out who's the right enemies because somebody in his size worked for enough.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So it's hard for not only for him but for American to find
know
out,
who the enemy is.
Yeah, who the enemy is.
Because the Viet Cong didn't wear uniforms, right?
And also the Viet Cong can be in the troop too, in the south troop too.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard for him and for them to recognize who is who.
You don't know who's
Who
friend
is who,
and
yeah.
who's foe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. How a question for both again. How did the war change after the Americans left?
How the work?
How did the war change or what?
His work, their life changed. Their work, you mean?
Yeah, or just because the Americans, slowly, there were
Track out.
fewer and fewer soldiers here, but the war continues. So how did the war change after the Americans left?
Tức là năm 72 sau năm 72 á là Mỹ bắt đầu rút quân đúng không? 73 American side agreement and start moving out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the south part getting weaker without a lot of help, so the weaker enough fighting, and then after 75 take over.
Yeah.
And he had to be in the camp for 20 months.
Re-education.
Education camp for 20 months. I asked him how lucky you are. He said, yeah, but after 20 months living in the camp, he's not completely become a normal person. He had to be checked by the local police. Every week he had to show up. He cannot leave the town. His house is okay, but his hometown is like Nha Trang.
Yeah.
He couldn't leave it.
He couldn't leave. Yeah.
Every week he had to show at the police. Say, I'm here. I'm still here. Every week he had to show up.
Yeah.
Until the year 1979. So
for 4 years.
Kind of about 3-4 years.
Yeah.
After that he got a complete civic rights as a normal person.
Yeah.
To do whatever he can do.
Yeah.
Like live in town.
So he didn't have to keep checking in after 1979.
No. Yeah, after 79.
Yeah. And then when the other gentleman comes back, we can ask him. But does this gentleman think it was a mistake for the Americans to come here in the first place?
Đây một câu hỏi. Không biết chú có cảm thấy là do President in the year because Vietnam it's like kind of a civic war.
Has a civil war. Had a civil war. Yeah.
Civil war, and the North was sponsored by China and Russia. The South by America,
Yeah.
and then these two countries, two blocks, two sides have agreement with like Nixon and I think the other president went to China and they have agreement that American stop sponsor Vietnam, stop helping Vietnam with some other like small countries.
Yeah.
We just like one of the piece on the big chest.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the big guy can move, right? And whatever agreement, they could kill one benefit, get another. At that time, so that's why Americans stop helping South, and the South have no money to buy weapons, and no money to pay for the wages for the soldiers, and they get weaker, and they lost.
yeah.
And the South part they lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's agreement between two big countries, which is not about Vietnam. They're about their own benefit.
Yeah. Vietnam was just a small part of a big
Yeah, big
of a
big
big
game. Big
yeah.
game
A big
for,
game.
for everybody.
Yeah.
For
For this gentleman here, how did the war change after the Americans left
Yeah,
for
tức là
him?
tức là nó hỏi anh cũng câu hỏi giống như bạn của anh tìm là sorry.
Cái khó khăn là mất cái điểm tựa.
Yeah, he says after American left, he said one thing about how to work with American as because he worked with some white American as expert to it, but Americans say the expert come there and help, but not only help, they also give all the decision.
They make all the decisions.
I make all the decisions,
Yeah.
and these people just follow. They have no power, no right to do what they either think right or wrong,
Right. Yeah.
which is they're not very happy with
Right.
that way.
Yeah.
So they're not, if they're not happy, they're not really work
Not
super
working.
hard,
Yeah.
working hard.
Yeah.
And when American left in 1973, he said because no more sponsor, no more help, no more rock to stand, no more war to against.
Yeah.
Start losing the power, the energy,
Yeah.
and also the North government, communists, and they tell to the farmers, mainly most of the local Daoday farmers, equal social. That means everybody gonna be
Everybody's gonna be
same,
equal. Yeah.
And with the poor person, that's very makes sense.
Yeah.
All the product we share
Yeah.
from the top to the bottom, all the same.
Yeah.
And with that way, everybody believes more.
So more people, after all this time at war, more people believed what the communists said, that we'll have equality,
Yeah.
and so the cause of the South lost support
Yep.
among the people.
Yep. And then they also lost the power, the patience
Yeah.
also, and
Yeah.
the beliefs of the government also, and the theories of building the country also. So they start losing. That
So
sounds.
the people lost confidence in the government.
That's
and-
right. And the confidence of the government, the confidence of and then they believe more enough what they saying too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
about equal social like.
Yeah, yeah. So just a loss of confidence in the cause. So I'll just ask a couple more questions, just because I know, so we can eat, But what does this gentleman think? Does he think that it was a mistake for the Americans to come at all? Should the Americans never have come?
Anh tìm nghĩ là người Mỹ không nên đến Việt Nam. So he said that by the theories of that time, two ideas of following beliefs: the communist and capitalism. Those days,
Yeah.
and his idea that he said he still like, because he got a lot of bad experience with his families of the North communist government, and you have this strong belief on them, completely follow faithfully on them, no freedom, choices, and his family got some bad experience. So that's why he left his hometown, which is about Phú Yên, which is 120 km from there, to move to south, more south. That means he's based in Nha Trang,
Oh yeah.
and then he has to join the south, and he said still he think more freedom in the south than in the north with communist way.
Yeah. Yeah.
With these two things, and he said up to now the communists like North Korea, they still strictly on their beliefs.
Yeah. Still very strict. Yeah.
Strict, yeah, on their beliefs. You have
Yeah.
to follow, listen to them, whatever they say is
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with American, he said it's more freedom,
There's more freedom.
more open, more freedom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chính khách vô. Yeah.
He was making this gesture. What was he saying?
Some of his family members got chopped up by the North.
Got executed.
Yeah, executed, and because of they didn't follow, or they think it's betrayal,
Yeah.
and they, instead of shoot, just cut.
They
their
cut
head.
off. They decapitated them. They cut off their head.
Head. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why he said, the American is better. Cái gì chị muốn coi cho gì đó?
Không, bây giờ cứ nói chuyện đó.
No experience on communist life, but after a while living in communist social life, I feel that American help it better somehow too.
Mm.
Because more freedom, more helpful, higher technique, more open
Yeah.
for the local people too.
Yeah.
So-
This was when the Americans were here.
Yeah, after he leaving, before he was young and then joined the army and then all American part,
Yeah.
and then after 75 he was living here, and then he
He experienced
experienced
communism.
communism,
Yeah.
and he say he still like the way that American help the Vietnam. I think he said it's a right way
Yeah.
compared to the other. They say
Yeah.
it's still